Skeins, hanks, cones, cakes, balls. Yarn comes to us in a few different formats for different purposes. For knitting, one of the most common and easiest ways to work with yarn is when it's wound up into a ball. But for hand dyers, the easiest way to work with yarn is to dye them in skeins or hank format. I'm Felicia Lowe from SweetGeorgia Yarns, and today I want to talk to you about winding yarn. Now, getting your yarn from this skein format to ball format seems like an easy task, but often it ends up being a time-consuming nightmare and can result in hours of sad, non-knitting time. So I wanted to show you how I wind a ball of yarn and hopefully save you a few tears. To get started, you'll need a swift and a ball winder. You'll also need a place to work where the swift can spin freely. Note how the swift is mounted to a surface. You can choose to mount this on a kitchen table, a dining room table, or the back of a chair, or wherever. Set up the ball winder on a steady surface at least a foot or two away from the swift. Try to get a good amount of distance and a straight path from the swift to the winder. This ensures less drag and less pressure on the ball winder. Now look at your skein. Open it up and notice that it's like a big roll of paper with an inside and an outside. Make sure that it's flat and not twisted. Put this on the swift and untie or cut the knots. Notice that some of the ties are separate from the skein of yarn and other ties are tied to the ends of the yarn. The key to preventing tangles is ensuring that when you pick up the end of a yarn that is from the outside of the skein, it will be the one that allows the skein to unwind most easily. Hook the yarn end to the ball winder and start to turn the crank. I use my other hand to very gently add a bit of pressure so that there's a slight bit of tension to the yarn as I wind the ball. Not too much tension because you'll end up stretching the yarn too much and you can end up with gauge issues later on when you knit. But not too loose or you get a ball that's more inclined to tangle. This also helps you catch knots or tangles if it snags on the swift. The key is even and consistent tension on the ball. This is controlled by winding at a consistent speed. It's not a race. When you get to the last bit of the skein, just wind the last few feet by hand. If you don't have a ball winder, you can still wind your yarn by hand from a swift. If you don't have a swift, you can use the back of 2 chairs or ask a friend to help put a little bit of tension on your skein as you're winding. In a yarn emergency, I've put a skein around my feet while sitting on a hotel bed and wound a 400-yard ball of cashmere lace that way. It's not ideal, but it can be done. You now have a beautifully wound ball or cake of yarn that you can knit with. Use either the inside strand or the outside strand, or if you are wanting to work with your yarn doubled, you can use both strands at the same time. That's it for now. We'd love to hear from you, so let me know if this segment was useful or helpful. To find out when we publish more videos like this, sign up for our newsletter at sweetgeorgiayarns.com. Thanks for watching.